Good evening. I call to order the regular meeting of the Lakewood City Council, Lakewood, Colorado, November 27th, 2017, in council chambers. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Paul.
Here.
Coop.
Here.
Wickman. Gutwein. Here. Franks. Here. Harrison. Here. Roybal.
Here.
Vincent. Here. Abel.
Here.
Johnson. Here. Shakti. You have a quorum.
Great. Thank you. Welcome. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It should be a nice festive evening. I'd like to ask those in chambers, if you do have a cell phone, please put it on silent. And also, we will have a short recess for a reception. But if you do want to sign up for public comment, I'd ask that you do that prior to us coming back in, and you can sign up at the back table. So with that, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silent prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Will the clerk please read item 4?
Item 4, proclamation, Sister Cities Exchange Program.
All right, I'm going to ask our friends to come down from our sister city. Whoever else you brought with you, come on down.
Uh-oh, don't know.
And if you want to take pictures for the whole night, if you want to take some pictures, feel free to come behind the dais and take some. I'm going to have you guys over here. Over here. Guys and gals, how are you? All right. Nice to see you all again. Come on. Squeeze it in. We've done this before. Hi, how are you? Okay. Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes. Lakewood Sister Cities Program. Whereas the City of Lakewood and the Lakewood Sister Cities Program are celebrating 40 years of collaboration in 2017. And whereas the City of Lakewood and Lakewood Sister Cities Program has established long-term sister city relationships with Chester, England, Portsmouth, England, Stade, Germany, and Sutherlandshire, Australia. And whereas the Lakewood Sister City, say that fast 3 times, program has had hundreds of high school students and adults participate in exchange programs, including the American and Australian students present today. And whereas the relationships formed by the members of the Lakewood Sister Cities program benefit their communities by exploring education, economic, and cultural opportunities. Now, therefore, on behalf of the City Council and the people of the City of Lakewood, I, Adam Paul, Mayor of the City of Lakewood, Colorado, by virtue of the authority vested in me, recognize Lakewood Sister Cities program in building cultural bridges across nations, cities, and communities around the globe and celebrate Lakewood's 40th year of collaboration with the Sister Cities program, given under my hand in the seal of City of Lakewood this 27th day of November 2017, Adam Paul, Mayor.
All right. Well, this is a great program, and this is actually the 3rd time that most of us have had an opportunity to hang out. We did my Spotlight on Lakewood show, and it's amazing to hear from these young men and women and to kind of listen about their experience. And 2 things that I've gathered is that our Australian friends really like Chick-fil-A, and they find it quite odd that we have drive-through ATMs. So I'm going to let our students just introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and yep, come to the mic. Just let us know your name and where you're from. If you're from the United States, tell us your high school.
My name is Anna Moran. I'm from Sydney, Australia, and I go to Lakewood High School here. Cool.
My name is Ben Lenahan, and I go to Ralston Valley up in Arvada.
My name is Nathaniel Newman, and I go to Chatfield. My name's Rose Cockcliffe, and I'm from Sydney, and I go to Green Mountain here.
My name's Caitlin Graham. I'm from Australia and I go to Ralston Valley here.
My name is Shelby Wax. I live in Sydney and go to Green Mountain here.
My name's Carmen Davies and I go to Golden here.
My name's Jake Day and I'm from Australia and I go to Green Mountain.
My name's Kira Beck and I go to Green Mountain.
My name's Lily Halpin and I go to Golden High School.
My name's Alex Brady and I go to Green Mountain.
My name's Bree Harrell and I go to Green Mountain.
My name's Tara Gallegos and I go to Lakewood.
And my name's Noah Johnson and I go to Golden.
Well, thank you all again for coming out, and I think, when do our Americans head over? The first of the year? January, all right. So, would you like to mention anything about the program, or? Told you I was gonna put you on the spot. I thought you were joking. Well, it's a great program. If you want any, please.
So I don't know how much more there is to say. 40 years in business, 40 years of doing exchange, giving between 4 and 8 kids every year an opportunity to build connections across the world, build understanding of each other's cultures. I don't know of a better way to build one, maturity and knowledge in kids, but also peace one by one in the connections we make. So that's the youth exchange, and then of course with our adult exchange that is now revived and vitalized, and we just had a group who came back from Stade, Germany in September, right, Amy? Where 15 adults from here went over to Stade, and then we, since it's a
Reciprocal.
Thank you. We will have Germans come here next year and we'll host them. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you all. I will. It's nice to see you all. Has anybody gone to Casa Bonita yet? Big part of the cultural exchange. All right, will the clerk please read item 5?
Item 5, recognition Lakewood Faith Coalition and service organizations.
Great. I'd like to now invite down members of the Lakewood Service Club Coalition and the Lakewood Faith Coalition. How are you? You're not scooting.
It's up there.
All right. So this is exciting, and these are two groups that, one started, I think, in 2014, and that was the Lakewood Faith Coalition, with the idea of coming together, knowing that more people when more people come together, more things can be done for the better. And this group has really taken off. They met for their first time in 2014 with 72 participants and approximately 40 different faith organizations. A steering committee with multiple faiths represented was then created. The LFC has seen many accomplishments resulting from collaborations of the faith organizations and through the facilitation of many community partnerships. Their main focus has been our Title I elementary schools. And as you know, it's an incredible need. Activities so far have included 10 after-school tutoring programs with 150 children participating and approximately 180 volunteers. They've facilitated community partners and collaborations to fund 3 playfield projects, have done coat and boot drives, and have created food pantries throughout the city. You know, this is an incredible testament to what can happen when people come together, when they realize that there are needs in our community, needs that the government really doesn't have the means to address, or in some cases should address. And so by bringing this group together, we've really seen lasting and meaningful change, and I look forward to continuing to see this grow and mature. I see Pastor Ross here. We've talked a little bit this last month about your shower trailer for the homeless, and what a wonderful and cool thing. So thank you all for coming out from the Faith Coalition. And then our newest group to follow in that model is the Lakewood Service Club Coalition. Cher is here, who's kind of the head of this, and it's a new name. So same idea. This is our Kiwanis, Elks, Rotary, and Optimist clubs. Again, coming together and saying, we're already doing wonderful things in the community, but what if we came together and tried to focus a little bit more on a certain area or a certain project? So they met for the first time in 2016. Their current focus is on Title I schools music program with an emphasis at Rose Stein. They recently launched an instrument drive, which ends at the end of the year, and they have received numerous instruments and music stands already and continue to collect cash contributions. Another cool thing that they did at the opening this year, Rose Stein Elementary, they came together to do landscaping and flowers and really make a high-needs school welcoming to the community and welcome those kiddos back with great dignity and excitement. So I'm very proud of all the work that you've done, and on behalf of the City Council and the City of Lakewood, we want to recognize you. And I'd love for you to, again, just introduce yourself and tell us which club you're with. Or church.
Hi, I'm Cher Cruz, and I'm with the South Jeffco Rotary Club. Thank you.
I'm Larry Henry. I'm with the Green Mountain Optimist Club.
I'm Larry Linsemeyer. I'm with Grace Covenant Church.
I'm Drew Ross. I'm the senior pastor of Bethlehem Lutheran Church and School with the Lakewood Faith Coalition.
I'm Marion Katz, Alameda West, Kiwanis Club.
Reg Cox, pastor at Lakewood Church of Christ and Lakewood Faith Coalition.
And I'm Mike Fletcher, one of the deacons over at Christ on the Mountain Catholic Church and on the Lakewood Faith Coalition.
I'm Perry Richards. I'm the stake president of the Lakewood Stake of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
I'm Steve Otto, Kiwanis Club of Belmar.
And I'm Rich Urbanowski with the Sunrise Optimist Club of Lakewood.
All right, so before we give you another round of applause, as you can see, it's not always easy to get people to come together. Not so much the service groups, but sometimes different faiths and denominations. And what we've seen is really a miracle. Everybody's come together to focus on making Lakewood the best community that it can be. And I also want to mention that all of these service clubs are not full, so if anybody in the audience would like to become a member, they are certainly looking for members. And we're not just recognizing you for what you have done with this coalition, but you do things day in and day out, not to be recognized, but just because you care. So thank you for all your hard work and dedication to Lakewood. All right, before I go into number 6, I'm going to just do something real quick, and I'm going to, I'd hope that we'd have a full group of our folks who are departing tonight, but they're not here, other than Councilor Coop. But Councilor Coop, if you have any parting words before we go into our induction ceremony, the floor is yours.
I would. Thank you, Mayor, for that opportunity. First, I'd like to start off that this, after 8 years, this is an experience that I would have not traded anything in the world for. And I appreciate the opportunity to serve the citizens of Lakewood for these past 8 years. I just want to publicly thank again the management team, the City of Lakewood, every employee, every volunteer that that gives the citizens of Lakewood the first-rate service that they deserve and have come to expect. And I just appreciate what they do for all of us to give us this high level of living in Lakewood. Makes Lakewood a wonderful place. So thank you all for that. Next, I want to express my appreciation and thanks to my lovely wife, Debbie, the first Counselor Coop. Thank you, dear, for that. To my two kids, Sophia, Sydney Rose, thank you for your patience. It's been 16 years. What do you think? It's about time, right? Right. Well, thank you all for your patience and your understanding and your love. I love you all. Thank you very, very much. I ran across a quote not long ago, just by accident. It's from Warren Buffett. And the quote is that someone's standing in shade today because someone planted a tree a very long time ago. And I would just like to hope that I have played a small part in planting someone's future shade in Lakewood. And I thank you all for being involved in your city and making this Lakewood a great place. Thank you all, and God bless everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Coop. All right, item 6. Induction ceremony. I beat you. There we go.
Thank you.
Okay, so I would like to ask our presiding judge, Ann Stavik, to come to the podium. There she is, to perform the swearing-in ceremony. I'd also like to congratulate you and Judge Dan Ramsey for being retained. And we're going to continue to have you serve the city of Lakewood. And I'd like to ask our newly elected officials to come down. We also, if you have family members and you'd like to bring them behind here to take pictures, you're more than welcome. Whatever you'd like to do to capture the moment. And then after this, we'll take a 20 to 30 minute break, depending upon how much people are wanting to party out there. And we'll come back in again. Please sign the roster on your way out if you wish to come back for public comment. Your Honor.
Thank you. And I would ask Ramey Johnson to come forward. Looks like you have a helper. That's great. And actually, right here is just fine. So, hi. I'll have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Ramey Johnson.
I, Ramey Johnson.
Swear or affirm.
Swear or affirm.
To support.
To support.
The Constitution of the United States of America.
The Constitution of the United States of America.
The Constitution of the State of Colorado.
The Constitution of the State of Colorado.
The Charter and ordinances of the City of Lakewood.
The Charter and ordinances of the City of Lakewood.
And to faithfully perform.
And to faithfully perform.
The duties of the Office of City Council.
The duties of the Office of City Council.
Congratulations. Congratulations. And then if you want to sign right here, we get to make it official. Two copies. There you go. All right, congratulations. Did she leave? She went over there. Okay. All right. And now if I could have Jacob Bruce LeBure. You can come down and stand right there. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And we'll have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jacob Bruce LeBure,
I, Jacob Bruce LeBure,
swear or affirm
swear or affirm
to support
to support
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Charter and ordinances of
the Charter and ordinances of
the City of Lakewood,
the City of Lakewood,
and to faithfully perform
and to faithfully perform
the duties of the office of City Council.
the duties of the office of City Council.
And congratulations. One more. Great. And congratulations.
Thank you.
And now if I could have Mike Beda. Yes. All right. And to me too, if you'd raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Mike Beda,
I, Mike Beda,
swear or affirm
swear or affirm
to support
to support
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Charter and ordinances of
the Charter and ordinances of
the City of
the
Lakewood,
City of Lakewood,
and to faithfully perform
and to faithfully perform
the duties of the office of City Council.
the duties of the office of City Council.
And congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
One more. Great, thank you. And if I could have David Skilling. Hello, and did you want to come join him, or? Okay. Hi. Have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, David Skilling,
I, David Skilling,
swear or affirm
swear or affirm
to support
to support
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Charter and ordinances of
the Charter and ordinances of
the City of Lakewood,
the City of Lakewood,
and to faithfully perform
and to faithfully perform
the duties of the office of City Council.
the duties of the office of City Council.
And congratulations. I'll have you sign right there. One more. All right, congratulations, Right, and Karen Harrison. You raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, Karen Harrison, I, Karen Harrison, swear or affirm to support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Colorado, the Constitution of the State of Colorado, the Charter and ordinances of the Charter and ordinances of the City of the Lakewood, City of Lakewood, and to faithfully perform the duties of the office of City Council. the duties of the office of City Council. Congratulations. All right.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor.
Congratulations to our new
Yes,
members.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And again, congratulations to you. So before we break, I just want to welcome all of our new council members. It's an exciting time for the city of Lakewood. It's also an exciting time I think when you just look at the democracy of our country in general and the passing on of people willing to serve their community who really care about it. So I have great optimism. I'm excited to work with everybody who has been elected and re-elected. I also want to thank the families. There's a lot of family members here tonight. Running for city council or any office is not always easy, especially for the candidate, but for the families also. And it can be a real challenge and a time strain, and the ups and downs, you ride those. So I want to give all the family members here a round of applause as well. So. And with that, it is almost 8:26, so we'll start with 20 minutes. 7:26? Well, we didn't change my clock. All right, so it's 7:26 on the dot now, and we will step outside, enjoy yourselves. Feel free to come up and take pictures, and then we'll change the name tags as well, so if you want to get pictures in front of your name tag or sitting up here, you're more than welcome to do that. And we'll try to come back at, let's try to come back at 8. How's that? 25 minutes to start. All right. We're in recess. 27th, 2017 at 8:03 p.m. in council chambers. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Paul?
Here.
LeBure?
Is it working?
Here.
We do that on purpose.
And we leave them on hot when you first sit down, so always look for the green light and turn it off.
Skilling?
Here.
Gutwein? Here. Franks? Here. Harrison? Here. Royball?
Here.
Vincent? Here. Abel?
Here.
Johnson? Here. Ida? Here. You have a quorum.
All right, well, welcome back. And next up on our agenda is public comment. This is the point in the meeting where the public is invited to address the city council on items that did not appear on the agenda. All comments should be directed to the city council. I ask that all in attendance observe the decorum of the city council chambers and refrain from applause or audible support or discord with the speaker. There is a 3-minute time limit. This little box here will go green. When you're at 2.5 minutes, it'll go yellow. When your time is up, it'll go red, and we will politely try to close your comments down. So I need a roster. Do I have one? We're all retraining tonight. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and call Board Member Amanda Stevens down from the Jefferson County Board of Education. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you so much. I want to begin the evening by saying congratulations to those newly elected city councilors, and also hello, and it's good to see you to those that are returning. I wanted to come this evening because, like you, we reformed our board this evening as well, and I know that you all are stepping into or continuing your public service, and you have my thanks as a longtime Lakewood resident with children in this community, and parents as well. I want to say thank you because you all serve my family. I wanted to come tonight not just to say welcome and good to see you again, and thank you for your service. I wanted to share some important information about what's going on in our Jeffco schools. The first thing you should know is that every day we're responsible for about 86,000 students across more than 170 campuses, and we work hard to ensure that every single student enters our doors, experiences wellness, growth, and leaves ready to thrive in college, career, and life readiness. We do that work right now with a new superintendent, Dr. Glass. Many of you have met, some of you will soon. soon, I wanted to share with you an important vision document that we will be working with to develop a strategic plan to ensure that the work that we do for students grows their success, student by student, day by day, and ensures that they're ready for the world in which they'll be living, which is global and competitive and truly 21st century. So I wanted to share with you tonight a summary document of our Jeffco Generations vision. I invite you, and truly with no irony, I invite you to check out the 30-page document. It really is a compelling read, but you can start with this 4-page summary. I want you to know what it is that we envision doing for each and every student, each and every day, and to invite you to comment and ask questions and make sure that you, as representatives of your community, are engaged in the conversations happening for our students. I'm also sharing with you tonight a little bit of information from the Colorado Education Network. Jeffco partners with a large community across the state, and we have many common challenges and common causes. So I want to make sure that you're part of that conversation and you can learn what's happening at the state level to serve kids. Last but not least, you're going to get a card from me. So please feel free to email or give me a call and let's sit down for coffee sometime so I can tell you more about what individual students and our school system at large is doing, because it's dynamic and challenging, and I want to conclude by thanking you. It's through partnerships with Lakewood as a city that many things get accomplished for our kids. So I want to begin by thanking the Lakewood Police Department, all those SROs that come to our school buildings every day. You all are on the front line of what happens with kids. Sometimes you're their first or most strategic mental health partner. We thank you for all the work you do to keep our kids safe. I want to say thank you to the Lakewood Recreation District. It's through partnerships that we have a middle school sports program. I was a middle school kid in the 90s here in Lakewood when we lost the ability to afford a middle school sports program in our schools, and thanks to a partnership with our city, that thrives. I finally want to thank the Lakewood Faith Coalition and Lakewood Connect, who are doing great work to circle up with our students and families who navigate with tenacity the challenges of poverty and make sure that that doesn't stop their students' well-being. So thank you, Lakewood, for partnering for our students' sake, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your hard work and service as well. All right, next up I have David Vanderveeren. This is a first.
Thank you, David Vanderveeren, Ward 5. Just so you can see it. Sustainable Southern Gables partnered with the U.S. Forest Service last Saturday for our first annual Christmas tree fundraiser, and that's why I'm here. I'm excited to share how that went. 12 adults and 5 kids collectively gave 150 volunteer hours during their Thanksgiving holiday. Since the majority of Christmas trees are shipped in from Oregon, we estimated that our 70 trees that we cut down reduced 77,000 tree miles. Okay, tree miles. This would not have been possible without the tremendous leadership and support that we received from the City of Lakewood. Within our organization, it starts with our fearless leader, Christy Cerrone, who's blushing in the back. Just look for the red face, I'm sure. And at the city level, it starts with Kathy Hodgson. Since 2013, Kathy has been listening to us citizens and council when it comes to forming the Lakewood Sustainability Division. She has hired talented and capable staff such as Jonathan, Lynn, and Alyssa, who are in the sustainability department, and they have just been such a tremendous resource to our group. I think it's really easy for someone to say, we can do this on our own, we don't need local government or local leadership, but that's just not true. That's just not true. The 8 sustainable neighborhoods would not be able to put on these events without the help and support from the City of Lakewood. Just this year, the Sustainability Division engaged 2,500 citizens to provide 1,200 volunteer hours. That's just amazing. That is just amazing. And as a thank you, we wanted to provide the city with one of these beautiful trees we cut down. Not this one. This is my daughter's, so don't look at it, as you can tell by the size. But in the lobby, you would see the tree that we brought for the city. And I'd also be really honored if Kathy, we made a little ornament. Here, Lakewood 8 can see it up there. But we made a little Lakewood ornament. And we would just love if you would hang that on the tree as a thank you. And we welcome anyone to hang a little ornament as a thank you on the tree. I have my own little one right here, but that's it. So thank you.
Great. Thank you. We'll give you one of our. So for folks that normally don't come to council meetings, this is exactly how public comment goes every Monday night. Mr. Mace, come on down. Yeah, thank you.
You like it down here or up here?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. I'm here tonight because I've got two concerns. Number one concern is, why is it that the City of Denver requires a merchant guard license for security personnel, like in the library, but the City of Lakewood does not require anybody to have a security guard license? The only people that I know that are available for security that have to be licensed is the police department. The other comment that I have is prostitution in Lamar Station is getting extremely bad. So I'm asking the city to step up patrols with the prostitutes at Lamar Station. So please respond. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Vatava. Good evening.
Mr. Mayor, council members, returning council members, and new council members. It's good to see you all today. I have two quick questions. Last time I was here, we were talking about Garrison Street, and there was some activity at First and Garrison that they were going to be putting up turn lane lights. And about 3 weeks ago, they went ahead and put up the lights, but nothing's working yet. Just if we could get a follow-up to find out when it will, get taken care of, that would be great. The other thing is, I briefly talked with the mayor out in the lobby about the CCU forum that is supposed to be forming with the neighborhood. It had a deadline of November 15th. It's come and it's gone. And I've been working with Jerry Coffey from the Mid-Lakewood Civic Association, and she shared an email with me from Shannon Dreyfus that said the forum was predicated on the fact that the people that are renting from those duplexes over on Cody Court sign a lease, and there's nothing in that document that was penned with the mayor and signed by Shannon Dreyfus that said that was going to happen. So I'd like to see something happen because I want to be a part of the forum. I'm a homeowner, and strictly I want to be on the forum because I'm a homeowner of Westford condominiums, but I'm also a board member, and I'd like to keep the other board members and our residents up to date on everything that's going on with CCU. We have many issues, and the neighborhood has many issues, and we just want to get this thing going because I believe that document that you signed stated that meetings should start by January 31st or something, somewhere in that area. Well, time's running out. Thank you for your time, and always good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Ms. Merkel. Good evening.
Hello, I'm Trish Merkel. I live at 241 Pierce Street in Ward 2. Wanted to congratulate all of the new city council members. It's great to see all of you up here. We look forward to working with you for the next 2 years all together. I wanted to take a few minutes tonight just to say thanks. Coming off this Thanksgiving weekend, it is a time that we should It is a time, sorry, I feel like I'm shouting. It's a time that we should appreciate everything, and I really do appreciate the city of Lakewood. I'm currently a member of the Advisory Commission for an Inclusive Community. I'm a member of the Sustainability Committee. I'm also president of the O'Kane Park Neighborhood Association. I do interact a lot with the city and the city staff. So coming off the Thanksgiving weekend where my daughter spent time at the art camp and we picnicked down on the Bear Creek Greenbelt, and we went swimming at the renovated link. I just wanted to take a moment to show my appreciation for city staff and the management of Kathy. We really appreciate everything that you do for the city and making this a wonderful place to live. I look forward to watching all of you and working with all of you, and along with the city staff and all of the volunteers that make Lakewood a wonderful place to live. So, and thanks to Margie for the elections. So it seemed seamless. So thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kellogg. Good evening.
Welcome to all the new members. I know it's supposed to be kind of a lighthearted evening, so unfortunately I'm going to be a little bit of a buzzkill for some of you. I apologize for that, but there's things I wanted to address council on, but you haven't had a meeting for a month, so haven't had a chance to talk to you. Anyway, let's go back to the October 30th council meeting, where outgoing Councilor Coop made a statement regarding comments made by two other councilors regarding a radio show that they appeared on. Those comments were directed at both the mayor and Councilor Coop and were essentially a personal attack that ridiculed, insulted, and degraded both of them. Now fast forward a couple of days later, I'm sitting at my desk at work, working, streaming this radio show. Don't tell my boss we're not supposed to stream, but fast forward a couple days later, and the same two councilors on the radio show again. And what I heard from them was astounding. They both took the opportunity to hurl insult after insult and make up lies and half-truths aimed at Scott Coop and the mayor. This wasn't someone attempting to present an opposing point of view to policies. It was a vicious personal attack, essentially degrading and mocking two of their colleagues. A disgusting and frankly lowbrow, below-the-belt tactic that can best be described as gutter politics. In fact, one of the hosts of the radio show started making crying sounds mocking Scott Coop, and the two councilors were laughing and playing along. I found that behavior beyond anything I thought I would ever see on a local level. When two members of this body use a platform to publicly degrade, insult, and make up lies about other members of this council, that is a clear indication there is no bottom to their barrels. What I find amusing is during the last mayoral campaign, I attended a candidate forum where the councilor from Ward 1 that was running against the mayor made statements about how some voters were saying mean things about her and it was totally unfair and she really wanted it to stop. Well, there's the mother of all double standards. I don't like when somebody says something about me, but I have no problem trashing other members of this council in a forum when they are not present to defend themselves. So it's clear, and it's really clear to returning members of the council and new members of the council, that there's a standard that's being attempted to be set, and it's a pretty low standard. If you don't conform or capitulate to my way of thinking, then I'll just make up lies and half-truths and publicly insult and degrade you. The rest of this body has a decision to make. You can remain silent and do nothing, or you can make a statement that publicly insulting and degrading other members of this body is not acceptable, and we demand we hold ourselves to a higher standard. Or to make it a lot simpler, how would you feel if that was you, or your spouse, or your family member? Here's a standard that you really need to adhere to. It's known as the Golden Rule. Towards the end of the October 23rd council meeting, Councilor Abel made a statement about how members of this body should act toward each other, saying that there's enough angst at the federal level, so we at the local level could do much better. Counselor, that message went right over their heads. Didn't even listen to it. So I think this is an opportune time to remind them of the message that you were trying to convey. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kellogg. Ms. Bronson? Good evening.
I'm Brenda Bronson, and I'm in Ward 4 of Lakewood, and I'm on the same subject as the last speaker. I'm making this public comment to read the letter I wrote to Councilors Ramey Johnson and Pete Roybal on November 9th, and that I copied the rest of the city councilors that were on it then, and not you guys, because you're new, okay? But I didn't get a response, so actually I got a response, but since they did not answer me, I'm reading my letter to you now, and I'm asking them for a response. I would like a response. Councilors Roybal and Johnson, I would like either your written response to Councilor Scott Coop's speech at his last city council meeting about the hate-filled radio station you two appeared on. Please let me know whether you agreed with the host's opinion, and if you didn't, why you didn't speak up. Elected city councilors have opinions, and they speak up. That's what we elect them to do. It's what you've done at council meetings. You chose to be on this radio show, and since you didn't speak out, it appears you agree with the host. I want you to, please address the responses Scott Coop addressed. One, whether you agreed with the names like sleazeball and crook and slimy that the host called the mayor, and whether you agree with the names the host called citizens, Lakewood citizens like me that support the mayor or his values. Two, whether you agree with what he said about campaign contributions. Three, how participating on this radio show enhanced you or enhanced the city of Lakewood. Regarding campaign contributions, you made accusations about other councilors. I'd like to know the amount of campaign contributions you received from Councilor Dave Weichman. And in your response, I'd also like to know about your relationship with Dan Smith, the editor of the Lakewood Watchdog, because in his newsletter, he appears to be a fan of yours. I said I didn't get a response from Mr. Roybal or Ms. Johnson, but I did get, 4 minutes after I sent my email of this letter, I got a response from Councilor Dave Weichman, and it said, ignore her. I assume he meant to send it to you, and he just by mistake sent it to me. But we're a new council now. I didn't know that it wasn't going to, I thought I would be addressing the people that were, yeah, anyway, I thought Dave Weichen is here, and I'm not going to read what I wrote him to you guys. But I hope you do better. We have a new council here. I hope you're more civil. I hope you're kinder to each other. And I just hope we go forward and we're just a kinder, better, gentler, less hate-filled bunch of people, okay?
Thanks, Ms. Bronson. Mr. Brackney? Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, honorable members of the council. John Brackney, and I represent a new organization in the Metro Denver area called Metro Energy. But first, before I say that, To my best ability, I thank you in serving for public office. I've sworn my hand to uphold the Constitution like several of you did tonight 5 times in my life, twice as an Arapahoe County Commissioner, once as a member of the Charter Commission who wrote the Constitution or the Charter for the City of Centennial, and then I enlisted during the Persian Gulf War, and then later as an officer in the Army. 5 times I've sworn to uphold the Constitution, and that should be enough to unify any elected body and the citizens behind it. So if you don't get thanked enough by your citizens, ask them to thank you and thank each other, because whether we agree over this issue or that at whatever level of government, we have such a privilege, the longest constitutional republic in the history of the world. Humankind has never had this opportunity. Thank you for your service, each and every one of you. Now, back to my topic. We represent an organization that is designed to bring better thought process for energy policy for Colorado and the United States. Metro Energy was founded by a center-right person, me, and a center-left person, Brenda Morrison. Some of you may have heard of me, some of you may have heard of Brenda. She was the one that staffed the Bighorn Institute on Public Policy for Rut Bridges for a decade. She was the key lead in that organization. So we are here to bring a better thought process to the animosity of all energy. So we are bringing together cohorts of 30 leaders across the state twice a year. Right now we have the mayor of Cherry Hills and the mayor of Englewood by example, but also the publisher of Colorado Community Newspapers, that caliber of person. And we're looking for one of you to serve with us in the spring. If one of you chooses not to serve with us, that's fine. We look for one of your key citizens, whether that's a business or a community leader, because we have an obligation to think through all of the above energy policy better than we're currently doing, and that's renewable as well as extractives. That's my only thought, is to introduce myself, to put a name in a place, and make myself available in coming months and years. Again, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. And if you'd like to give your information to the clerk, she can get that to the group as a whole, and we can follow up with more information. Honorable Karen Kellen. Good evening. Welcome to Chambers.
Thank you. 6 years, I'm still using up the paper. First off, I want to congratulate all the new and returning members of council on your recent election success. I also want to say thank you to those who have retired from council and for their years of dedication and service, because no matter what anyone says, and some of you will soon find out, it's a lot of work, and people up here put in the work. Now that we have the contentious election behind us, I would like to, Councilor Johnson mentioned at the last meeting about trying to heal our community. It was ironic because there was an incident at the ward meeting right after that where she allowed people to pass out some information about campaign contributions with a list of people's names and little blurbs about them and how much money they gave. And my name was on there with a weird blurb talking about how, I'll read it. Kellen will now work to persuade gays and lesbians in the country to run for public office and to persuade closeted elected officials to disclose their sexual orientation. What does that have to do with anything? I mean, this is a 6-year-old comment from when I was elected to the National League of Cities GLBT Advisory Group. I'm puzzled by it, and it just had that ick factor for me. But worse, I mean, when I listened to the meeting and I heard Scott's comment, I have not heard the radio show because I can't get it to play, but that kind of behavior and the shocking calling of names, frankly, it's Trumpian. Okay, we have enough problems at the national level with our name caller in chief, and I think we're all better than this. None of you people are doing this because of the money. Okay, you do it because you care about your community. Whether I agree with you or not on all the issues, I believe each and every one of you and everyone who served with me on council cares about your community and wants to do what's right. We don't have to call each other's names to do this. We can have civil debates. We can talk about the issues. We have serious issues facing our community. Let's talk about them. And let's up our game a bit. To quote Elijah Cummings in the U.S. House of Representatives, he loves to say this: we're better than that. We are better than that. You know, the people spoke when they elected Mayor Paul, and the people spoke again when they elected the new council. Elections matter, and you have an opportunity to push forward your policies and your issues, and I think we can do that with a civil level of discourse. I promise to do my best. I'm not always perfect. When I say those bad things that I shouldn't say, I do apologize. None of us are perfect, but let's do better. You guys represent all of us. You're here to guide this city. You have a big job. There's a lot going on right now. So, you know, go out there, do good work, and represent us in a way that we can all be proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Davis.
Greetings and congratulations to everybody. My name is Charles Davis. I recently ran for city council. I'm not sitting up here, so obviously I did not win. Move this forward. I have trouble with mics, apparently. I wanted to say a couple things about my run for city council. First of all, I would not have traded the experience for anything in the world, and I would recommend anybody out there in Lakewood or anywhere else watching this, please consider running to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. It was a great experience and absolutely 100% one of the best things I've ever done in my life, and I will do it again, first of all. And second of all, fabulous, fabulous experience. However, there's a few things that came out that I wanted to talk about to you, the city council. You all now, you ran in your individual wards, and you ran on topics for your individual wards, but you are no longer up here to represent your individual wards. You're up here to represent the entirety of Lakewood and to make solutions and progress to move Lakewood into the future. Now, to the extent that the individuals in your wards have special interest, parks need to be repaired, potholes need to be done, more police officers in areas, Lamar Station, et cetera, that should be done. But remember, Lakewood is a very large city, and you all are required to think about Lakewood as a big picture environment. And there are big challenges available right now that are affecting the city of Lakewood. And shutting Lakewood down will do no good for anybody. Closing us off, taking us back in time, is an impossibility. And you will only cause problems, long-term solutions. Every decision you make from now forward affects the future, not the past. It affects our new citizens moving in. It affects people who are here, who are retiring. It affects everybody moving forward. So think about that when you're making decisions. Think about the entirety of Lakewood and the entirety of all the people you're now representing, not just the individuals who voted for you, because that doesn't matter anymore. You're up here representing everybody. Finally, one of the great things that I had the opportunity to do when running is I spoke a couple times for a Rotary Club, and they gave me this fabulous coin. I think it would serve everyone well if everyone up there, you guys, everybody out here as well, to be honest with you, would follow these rules. And it's called the 4-way test. Test number 1, is it the truth? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? You know, it's a great little coin. I carry it with me. Go talk at the Rotary Club. They'll give you one of these. It's fabulous. But these are sage words that you all need to really upheld now for the future of Lakewood. So thank you all. I will be sitting out here a lot, holding you all up to this. But please represent everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. And feel free to join a Rotary Club. Kiwanis, Elks, or Optimists. All right, that exhausts the public comment roster. Anybody else wish to speak? Please come down and give us your name and address. Thank you.
Rita Bertoli, Ward 4. There were many tears shed behind the wall that separated candidates on election night a few weeks ago. Tears of joy, to be certain, and without a doubt, tears of sadness. Now that the election is over, we ask ourselves, how can we now take down that dividing wall? What is the wall made of that separates us? Do you remember from school what the distinction is between a difference of opinion and an ideological difference? The growth debate is a difference of opinion. It means that depending on circumstance, either view of the issue may be right. It depends on what's happening. But when there's an ideological difference among people, there is no situation, no reality where both sides are valid, because ideological values rise from the very core nature of who we are and how we should live our lives together. These values are confirmed in individual action, and they are based on ethics. Recent events tell us that the wall in our community may not be one of simply opinion. When we affirm in our law, for example, that the truth is spoken as the whole truth, but our city leaders and our city attorney believe that it is okay to speak half-truths. And I'll give you an example, like Steve Dorman is just a Lakewood citizen, yet in truth, he is not only that. Do we dismiss this sin of omission when so much is at stake? When we have counselors that sit for years, see hundreds of neighbors come to City Hall and say, stop, we don't want this type of development, this isn't Lakewood, stop. And the number of times they vote on the side of the people is 0. Do we agree to disagree on what representative government is? Being lawful means being loyal to the spirit of the law, its intention as well as its letter. Even though someone may find a legal way to bypass caps on campaign funding, is it ethical to get around the intention of that law? What kind of division does that create to violate a law's intention? When we are divided on what it means to be truthful or what it means to be elected or to be a leader, it doesn't matter who wins a growth issue. The message becomes Lakewood forward at all expense. PR slogans and catchphrases are a poor substitute for truth. It's one of the reasons why people have lost hope in politics today. If we really want to take down the wall, let's be brave enough to find out what that wall is made of and be bold enough to dismantle it.
Anybody else? Give us your name and address, please.
Mike Muller, Ward 4. Congratulations to all you guys. I am so happy to see this council, and I'm so happy that their goals are so lofty to complete all these goals that you guys have. You're going to be working your butts off. I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that I do have a copy of that radio show. And I can bring it down here and put it on right here, and you guys can listen to it. Compared to some of the other things I heard on this campaign, it was nothing. It was nothing. And as a matter of fact, it was kept as light as possible to keep from hurting other people. But I've heard a lot of things in this campaign that were very harsh. People being called racists and people calling that we really don't have a voice, that you know better than what the citizens do. Yeah, that's not the job. Your job isn't to listen to us. You're supposed to do what we say. If we want a moratorium on building, if we want to limit growth in Lakewood, by God, you got to let the vote go through and abide by our wishes. Who the heck do you think you are? I had people talking to me about the Federal Center property. They had no idea what was involved in that. But they were all upset because, gosh, we didn't buy this for $56 million or whatever it was, some ridiculous number. And how many people were going to get paid off on that deal? Holy cripes. It was unbelievable. So if anybody wants to listen to that, I'm going to start a new podcast, and it's going to be called Lakewood Underground. And I'm going to put it on there. You'll be able to listen to it on that. You'll be able to listen to it when I come out here on next Tuesday. I'm going to play it to everybody that wants to listen to it. Next Monday, I'll play it. I'll even play it at the Development Committee. But it wasn't what he said. And not by a long shot, because there was no lies given on that deal at all. Thank you.
All right, anybody else? All right, I'll close public comment. Okay. Please give us your name and address.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Catherine Kettner. I live at 9475 West Cedar Avenue in Lakewood. And I'm also a teacher at Belmar Elementary School, and I'm here this evening to thank our police department. The Tuesday before Thanksgiving, as many of you may know, there was a tragic and fatal car accident on Alameda and Oak. This affected the two people who were killed in the accident and their family members, one of which is a student at Belmar Elementary. The student returned to school today and got a visit from our police department. Feeling a part of a community is so important to kids in this kind of loss, and I'd like to thank our police department for going above and beyond in this tragic situation. Thank you.
All right, I'll now close public comment and ask that the clerk read the consent agenda into the record.
The consent agenda consists of item 9 only. Item 9, Resolution 2017-43, approving First Amendment to Intergovernmental Agreement regarding Shared Network Switching Center.
All right, I will now open the public comment on Resolution 2017-43. Nobody's indicated wanting to speak. Anybody in chambers wish to speak? Seeing none, I'll close public comment and ask for a motion.
Mayor Paul, I move for the adoption of Resolution 2017-43, which was included in the consent agenda items introduced into record by the city clerk.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right. So just for an explanation, and the council has all been briefed, but we are in an intergovernmental agreement with Arvada Police Department and the Denver Police Department. We are the fiduciary agent. Denver is looking to increase their share by $200,000. Because we are the fiduciary agent, we are the pass-through on that. So it's no dollars out of the city of Lakewood, but that's where this money, that's what this is all about. So with that, please cast your votes. Mayor Pro Tem Harrison? Hello. Passes 11 ayes, 0 nays. Nice job, guys. See, look at the unity. General business,
There's none.
executive report, Ms. Hodson.
Thank you. First, I just want to say thank you for this really cool ornament. And also I want to congratulate the new city council members and the council members who were reelected. I look forward very much, or we as a city staff look forward to working with each and every one of you. Having said that, just a reminder, we've got two major things going on right now. The first one is council orientation, and everyone goes through it, and it amounts to a lot of information. We're going to try a new approach. We'll be rolling this out in a slower way so that maybe it won't be so intense. And we're going to use different methods. We'll be using some videos of department heads that you'll be able to view once, and then if you want a refresher, you can pull that up and view that again. We'll be doing presenting information in written form. So again, you have the written materials on the different departments, and you'll have that at your access and can read it once and read it again and just keep it for your record. And third, we'll do it the old-fashioned way and have some face-to-face interactions with the different department heads. So depending on the way that each of you learn, we're going to try to make this as easy as possible and as meaningful as possible. So So that'll be rolling out pretty soon. Get ready for that. We'll start with the basics first. In fact, on December 4th, you'll be meeting with our IT director, and you'll be going through some of the basics as it relates to electronic information and iPads and all of those things. So that's the one piece. The other thing is we met, the management team met this morning for several hours to sew things up as it relates to the agenda items that are outstanding. And I've gotten a status from all the department heads on the different issues, and those will be calendared shortly. We're hoping to get a lot of those done in the first quarter. And I'm thinking right off the top of my head, things like fees in lieu for parkland fees. Staff's worked on that. That's coming forward. Grocery carts, abandoned carts, that'll be coming forward, and so on. So we'll be tying all of that up. Have no fear for the new council members who need kind of a refresher and an update. We'll approach each one of these with a brief background. So if you weren't here, or you weren't a part of those conversations, we'll try to catch you up to speed. So once again, congratulations, and I look forward to working with each of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Harrison?
Yes, I would like to invite everybody to attend the Come Let Us Adore Him Christmas program, which will be put on by the Lakewood Symphony Orchestra and the Colorado Mormon Chorale. It'll be December 7th and 8th at 7:30 p.m. at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is located at 6465 West Jewel Avenue. If you hadn't had the chance to hear it, it's well worth your time. It's free, and it's the gift of the symphony and the church to the community. So everybody's invited, and we'd love to see you there. Thank you.
Council President Roybal?
Thank you, Mayor. We will not be having a Ward 3 meeting in December because it's so close to Christmas. It would normally be on the 23rd, but Christmas is on the 25th, so we'll pick it up again first of the year. Thank you.
Councilor LeBrew? LeBeer?
That was close. I don't have anything to report. I would just say that I'm honored to be here. I'm really looking forward to serving all of you, and I'm excited about this opportunity. I'm ready to get to work, so thank you.
Councilor Skilling?
Thank you, Mayor. Again, I would reiterate those statements. Thank you all for coming out, sharing this time with us. I know my wife and son appreciated that. I will say that looking forward, a lot of you know me, some of you don't. I intend on being a leader on this council. I intend on probably being loud as I have been for quite some time now. I am going to shoot straight, as many of you know. And as Ms. Hodgson said, I appreciate the agenda items that are coming up in the next quarter. I would say I'm ready to go right now on a lot of those items. So hopefully we can get them done tonight if we have time. If not, I guess I can wait. But these items, I'm ready to go. Fees in lieu, you name it, I'm ready. So, and I look forward to working with the mayor and Dana and everybody on the council. And thank you to all of them.
Councilor Gutwein?
Thank you. So first, just want to invite everyone to our Ward 5 meeting this Saturday at 9 a.m. at Bear Valley Church. I'm really excited about the speaker that we have. We have Steve Bell coming from Jeffco Schools, and our topic is about how our Jeffco schools accommodate growth and plan for growth. That was an issue we heard a lot in the last few months, and just encourage everyone to come in, bring your questions. He's prepared to answer all of your questions, so please come in, or you can just come for the coffee and donuts, which are also great. And then also want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who voted in this election and for participating in your local government. It's really important and it matters. And my heartfelt thanks to all the candidates who ran in this election. It takes a lot to step up, and you added a lot to our community. So thanks I value what you accomplished, and I hope that you will all continue to stay engaged. And of course, my sincere congratulations to everyone, all my new colleagues and everyone who got reelected. I wish you the best in your years of service of this community that we all love so much. That's why we're all here. And it's my sincere hope that we bring each of our different voices to the table, and challenge each other and use independent thinking and come up with ultimately the best governance for the 150,000 people that we serve in Lakewood. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Councilor Franks.
Thanks, Mayor Paul. Wanted to remind everybody of our Ward 4 meeting, which would be Saturday, the 9th of December, 9:30 at Green Mountain Church on West Alameda. Also wanted to announce I do not have to change the name of the Dave and Barb newsletter because, name stayed the same, so that's good. Y'all need to look at him if you're thinking coffee would still be served. I can barely get there at 9:30 on a weekend, so that might be a challenge for us. And I did want to thank everybody. The campaigning is grueling. It is hard, but it's actually one of the more rewarding things is to get out there, meet people, shake hands, answer true questions. I mean, not just kind of give people what I call the pablum is to really find out what's going on in the community, what people want. And I hope that we can fast track some of the discussions on mixed use zoning. That's a big one in our area. I also want to be able to maybe start looking at how different our wards are. I've kind of been mentioning this to folks, and start to look at legislation that lets each ward kind of work towards what it wants, because what we're finding is things are at cross purposes. You've got areas that desperately want growth and they want some density, and they're looking to draw in a lot of things that other wards aren't. And I think if we keep trying to shoehorn everything everywhere, we're going to have a lot of issues. So I'm trying to advocate for how can we look at policy that respects the very unique characters of each of our wards, and even more slicing down to our neighborhood level to let wards that want certain activities to happen, move forward, and other ones that really want to kind of preserve a different type of an area, give them that flexibility, because it's all about people move to each area for a unique reason, and I want to honor those unique reasons. So thank you very much.
Councilor Vincent? Yeah.
I know. See, it happens no matter how long you've been here. As we talk, I think next week we're going to talk about what came to the Planning Commission, the different meetings and the output of that. Am I correct?
Thank you for that. Next week, December 4th, is a joint meeting, and it's a joint study session with the Planning Commission. So they will be providing a complete update on all of those conversations.
Okay, what I would like them to come with is the number of people who attended each of those meetings. That'd be great. I think I need to give a shout out to Mulholm Elementary School. As most of you know, I represent a section of the city that has a very high, some of the schools have a very high free and reduced lunch program. Mulholm is identified as one of those, and they have worked with a coalition in that area on the eastern side. And it's my understanding from information that I read that Mulholm Elementary jumped 2 tiers. So they went from the lowest, and they are now at meet or exceeds expectations, and now they're kind of on a watch program. So I think a shout out needs to go to them. That was a lot of hard work for a lot of people, so exactly. My new counselor may not know this, but we do not have a Ward 2 meeting in December. Okay, you're off, yeah. And for those of you, there is one major fundraiser that 40 West has every year, and it's called the Riot Fest, and it will be held December 8th at a car place. Oh, gosh. Off of 8th Avenue. Does anybody know the name of the car place?
8th and Quail.
Yeah.
Intrigue Auto.
Intrigue Auto.
Thank you. I need help. And so if you'd like to go on there and get tickets, it's a great thing. There'll be drinks and there'll be food. And as I said, it's their only major fundraiser. And one more thing, congratulations, because the 40 West Arts District, I hope that I have this whole thing straight, has now gone into the SFCD. And they are now approved for that, and they are the first district in the state who's eligible to perhaps receive funds from that entity. And that was a lot of hard work, and so that's just wonderful. And that's the good news from Ward 2.
SCFD, but that's fantastic news. Councilor Abel.
I have a list here for those of you who hoped we would be out of here before 10. No, it's shorter than that. Last week, the mayor and I attended the dedication of the playground at South Lakewood Elementary School, a playground that was designed by the students over there in large part, put together with the loving labor of a number of parents and other supporters of the school, and it's a beautiful thing. And when school's out, the neighborhood can use the playground. So anybody wants to go on the merry-go-round, enjoy. Sunday we had the Mid-Lakewood Civic Association tree lighting at Meadowlark Park. Had a large crowd there. We had the choir from Creighton Middle School, and everybody sang carols and had hot chocolate and cookies, and it was a great gathering. And I'd like to mention that the lights and the big tall tree there are no longer put up by the gentlemen who are in Mid-Lakewood. They're like me, getting a bit older and not spry enough to climb to the top of the tree. So Excel has joined to help defray the cost of that celebration, and we appreciate that very much. The Ward 2 meeting will be, the Ward 1 meeting will be on the 2nd of December at Holy Shepherd Church at 920 Kipling, and we're hoping for a police liaison officer to tell us about the crime patterns in the neighborhoods. In Ward 1, we're seeing an increase in, or we believe it's an increase in auto break-ins and such. And I would like to follow up on some of the comments about the vote. It was very contentious toward the end of that race. A lot of divisive comments. Since the election, we've all become neighbors again. Everybody's smiling and greeting each other as if those things never happened. I wish the entire nation could take a lesson from Lakewood and how we came back together after this interesting election. And it's my hope that everyone will respect the will of the voters and help us move Lakewood toward the next 20 years. And that'll do. Thank you.
Councilor Johnson.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is with the highest level of humility and pride that once again I sit here and have the opportunity to serve you. I have never taken this honor for granted. I feel, however, like the lady in the final scene of the movie Fatal Attraction, who rises out of the bathtub when some thought she was dead, and a few people wish that she was dead. We have all witnessed an election of monumental proportion regarding lessons we must address and learn from. And yes, I believe the greatest lesson is that of do unto others. This is good to keep in mind, both individually and as collectively as an elected body. I am very hopeful and enthusiastic for our future. There is a new energy and I am excited to be part of this never-before-realized new beginning in governance. Yes, it is time to heal. We have the opportunity to make some meaningful changes. Let us proceed with integrity, honesty, and real transparency. I look forward to truly serving the people who bestow this honor and reality upon me. Thank you.
Counselor Beta?
Thank you, Mayor. Did that work?
You're good. You might not need it.
A couple of items. First of all, in Ward 3, we're kind of unique in that we've always had 2 ward meetings. We decided one wasn't enough, so we've always had 2 ward meetings. So even though we're going to dispense with the, as Councilman Roybal indicated, the meeting at the end of December, we do have one also scheduled for the first Monday of the month, and we are going to go ahead and have that one. So that would be the first Monday in December. It's at the Sunrise Restaurant there on South Wadsworth, just like always. And one of the topics we are going to talk about there is whether or not we're going to continue with having 2 ward meetings, or whether we're going to do like everybody else and merge into one and just have one. But I wanted to clarify that we are going to have that ward meeting on the first Monday. The other thing I want to do is I want to thank all of you, all of my supporters that are here tonight. There's many of you. Some of you have already left. But I wanted to thank you for all of your support and hard work in my campaign over the last few months. You worked tirelessly. You were volunteers. And you worked for a cause that you believed in. And I really appreciate all of your support. Most of all, I want to thank my number 1 supporter, my mother, who is sitting in the front row, Lucille. And she was one of my most ardent supporters. She drove around the city of Lakewood for several months with a yard sign plastered to the side of her car, my yard sign. She handed out yard signs in the mornings after Mass at church, handed out campaign information. So she was by far the best public relations person I could have had. So thank you, Mom. I want to say that it's truly an honor and a privilege to be asked by my neighbors to sit on this council and represent them in the important decisions that we have to make. And it's also an honor to be sitting with all of you, my colleagues, because I know that you're a very dedicated group of public servants, and I'm looking forward not only working with you, but also learning a lot from you. So that's going to be wonderful. I am confident that in the future we will have some very vigorous debates on the issues. I have no doubt about it. But I also believe that in the end we're going to come together and do the best for our citizens of Lakewood. I know we'll do that because that's our job. So I also want to say I look forward to working with our professionals, our city manager, Kathy Hodgson, our police chief, Dan McCaskey, and all the rest of our professional staff. So that's going to be a great honor and privilege to work with you as well. So, finally, I'm looking forward most of all to representing all of the people in Ward 3 that elected me. And that includes those of you, just a few of you, that didn't vote for me. And I hope that I, in the future, can earn your trust, those that didn't vote for me, and your confidence in the months ahead. So that's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Nicely said. And I do believe your mother even got yard signs outside of your ward. So well done. They were all over the city. Mayor Pro Tem Harrison, you had to follow up.
Yes, and I wanted to say thank you, Mom Beta, because I had neighbors that came to me and said, who is, in Ward 5, they would come to me and say, who is this Mike guy? Who is this Mike guy? Is he running against you? And I'd have to explain everything, but thank you for all that you did. That's wonderful. I wanted to say that this has been a hard-fought battle for all of us, And it makes us a better city and a better country when we get to air our views and go through an election. It's kind of refining by fire. We get an opportunity to really look at our values. We get to knock on doors and meet wonderful people and hear their concerns. It refreshes. It feels like we're ready to go. And I wanted to thank all those who voted for me. And thank you also for those who voted for my opponent. We appreciate the fact, both of us do, that you cared enough to go vote and have a say in the city of Lakewood. I really appreciate that, and I'm going to do my very best. Thank you very much.
All right, I have a couple of announcements. If you have ever given to a nonprofit, you'll probably know that Colorado Gives Day is December 5th, because you're probably being inundated, but it's a great program and can help those donations go a little bit further, and there's a lot of wonderful Lakewood nonprofits that are a part of that. The tree lighting is going to be this Friday and Saturday, 5:30 to 8:30. Photos with Santa, tractor pull, hay wagon rides, ornament making, museum tours, and I just heard that chestnut roasting was added to the list. Did not know that we did that. Don't know if I've ever had one. So come out and enjoy, bring the family. It does coincide with the Parade of Lights downtown, but this is a nice, great family event. They'll have hot cocoa, and the council members are invited to ride the fire truck with Santa on Friday night at 5:30. So if you want to come there, just let us know. We'd love to have you take a ride with Santa. This was touched on earlier, but it's really important that we take our driving seriously and we spread that word. I think we've all realized traffic is not amazing, but the way people drive and the distracted nature of the way people drive is really scary. And we had 3 fatal deaths last week. 1 hit and run, and then 1, of course, where we lost a mother and a child, potentially due to distracted driving. You know, we can do better. It's terrible. But let's spread the word. This could be something that we could look at as a council too, to see what we can better do with our police enforcement, because it's not good. So keep that in mind. Keep those families in your thoughts and prayers as well. The honorary consulate for Serbia lives in the city of Lakewood, and he hosted the Serbian ambassador and his wife last week. And we actually have a Serbian Orthodox church called St. John the Baptist on First and Cedar, First and Garrison. So Cedar-ish, yeah. Really cool, but what a great event, and to be able to showcase a little bit about Lakewood to our friends in Serbia was a great honor. And then want to congratulate a Lakewood 7-Day Hero Award winner, Jerry Halsor. He's a United States Air Force veteran from the 50s, and he volunteers at Valor Point teaching sculpture classes to veterans and homeless veterans. And they honored him on Channel 7, so it was really cool to see that take place. Colorado Mills is open, so get out there and do some shopping. Did anybody get out there and do any shopping? All right, we're supposed to raise our hand. Yeah, we did. But it is open, and that's great, especially for the jobs and the people that were out of work. So we will continue to see them come back on board. They're not 100%. We're hopeful that in the springtime they will be. And last but not least, as far as council business goes, I'll send an email out tomorrow morning to all of the council members about committee assignments. I've had a good opportunity to speak with our new folks about what that looks like, and would love to have that back by next Friday so we can begin to get to work. The first of the years will be kind of our first blush with the legislative committee and hosting our legislative delegation. So we'll want to get that committee seated and the rest of them. So look forward to that. And again, thank you to all. I'm excited to have this opportunity to serve with you. And we are adjourned at 9:10 p.m. Thank you.